said, the first one we're going to bring up is AJ's Eastern Conference champions. Prediction early in the season, the Milwaukee Bucks, who are on the road for most of the series against the Indiana Pacers. Obviously, if we go 7 games. This is a rematch from last year. We all know that Giannis was hurt last year. Indiana won 4-2. Dame is hurt this year. What will happen in this series? So, AJ, my boy, give me your prediction for Milwaukee Bucks versus Indiana Pacers. For people who don't know, shout out to my boy TYP, my boy Ty. He a Pacers fan. He definitely want to hear what you got to say.
Hey, man, I've been back and forth all year when it comes to the Bucks, what they can do and what they can accomplish. And before we went live, I was back and forth, going through my notes, you know what I mean? Going through, looking at the numbers, comparing the two teams. And I got to be honest with you, Joe. I can't jump off the bandwagon just yet. Joe. I'm going with the Bucks. I'm going to go with the Bucks in 7 games. Now, I will admit, the matchup, in my opinion, is not favorable. It's not. I'm looking for Giannis to be a superstar in this series. Now, we've seen him now without Damian Lillard in the lineup. He's doing it all. He's facilitating. He's running the offense. He's rebounding. He's scoring. They're going to need that throughout this first round. I don't know if Dame is going to be back. Right now, they're saying, it's not likely that he's going to be back within the first couple games. Maybe if the series is extended to 6 or 7 games, he'll be back, right? So I'm hoping for that because they may need that. But as presently constructed right now, I think they have enough. I think when I go back and I look at how the series went last year, man, they was giving those guys a run without Giannis in the lineup. Now, granted, 2 different teams. Giannis wasn't there and it was Dame there. Then Dame was in and out of the lineup. They had Chris Middleton out there playing like Chris Bryant. I call him Kobe Bryant in the playoffs because he's a different player in the playoffs, right? So it's, again, different teams. But I saw this team match up with the Pacers, and the Pacers not have any answers for these guys at one point. And the Bucks are banged up. The Bucks were hurt. I'm hurt at the fact that these guys are never healthy for this postseason. They're never healthy for the postseason. But I think, between Coombs, who's played decent as of late, between Giannis, between Bobby Portis, he's back now from suspension playing well, Brook Lopez, and the real X factor outside of Giannis, who's the obvious X factor, Kevin Porter Jr. I don't know if people have been watching him. Now, I will admit, Joe, and I'll pass it to you. When the trade first went down, I'm like, I don't know. And my brother, shout out to him, I don't know if he's watching, my older brother was like, yo, Kevin Porter Jr., a problem, bro. I'm telling you. I'm out here in Houston. I've seen him. He has some issues, but he like that. And I'm like, he cool, bro, but I just don't know. Man, he been hooping. Steals, defense, shot making, facilitating. He really that piece that has helped them playing alongside Giannis in the absence of Damian Lillard that's facilitated and then winning games. Very underrated slept-on player. So I think they have enough to get it done. Pacers, they're going to move up and down the floor. They're going to run. They're going to do their thing. They got a lot of pieces over there. But I'm not jumping off the bandwagon. I'm rolling with the Bucks in 7 games.
Woo! I like that, AJ. I'm going to agree with you. I'm going with the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, look, a lot of people might be surprised, people who know me, because I'm very hard on Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm really young. Like, I know he has a championship, but I always tell people, what has he done? Like, what do you mean he won a championship? I'm like, yeah, I know. I give him credit for winning a championship. If you ask me to rank Giannis somewhere in the top, whatever, I'm going to rank him. I'm going to include the championship. I'm going to include the performance. I'm going to include all that stuff. But I cannot ignore the fact Kyrie Irving, James Harden got hurt in that playoff series when they should have lost, in my opinion. I can't ignore the fact they played Atlanta Hawks and they played the Phoenix Suns. I can't ignore that fact. And I remember against Boston, they lost. I remember against Toronto, they lost. I remember in the bubble against Miami, they lost. I remember against Miami 2 years ago, they lost. I remember all that stuff about Giannis. Things happen, injuries, etc., coaching, all that stuff. But I'm going to roll with the Bucks. Now, obviously, the Pacers had their number last year. But just like AJ said, I'm expecting Giannis to have an historic series, y'all, in this series. He's a mismatch. I mean, Miles Turner? I mean, are you serious? I mean, who they got for Giannis? Here's the thing, AJ. Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? Since Dame Leonard's been hurt, the Milwaukee Bucks offense has been a little different. Giannis has been having the ball in his hand a lot more. Usually it's Dame. Dame had the ball in his hand a lot more. But Giannis having the ball in his hands a lot more. He's doing more playmaking. Obviously, with Dame being out, with Dame, Giannis already had the attention. But without Dame, he's seeking more attention. And Giannis actually making the right play. Now, Giannis, in the last 2 years against the Pacers, he averaged 36 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. I expect that type of Giannis even better in the playoffs. And when I go back and look at Giannis' performances, and I go back and look at Giannis against the Boston Celtics, Giannis did his part. It's just that he didn't have any other guys around. Chris Middleton didn't play that series. He didn't have any other bucket getters outside of him. We had Drew Holiday, but he's not a bucket getter consistently. When I look at my X factor, it's similar to your X factor. KPJ.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Porter Jr. So usually when Dame is in the lineup, pick and roll with Giannis. But now that Dame is gone, that pick and roll is now with KPJ. And one thing about Kevin Porter Jr., he's doing a good job not turning the ball over a lot. And he's been pretty good. He's another bucket getter. He works at a different pace than Giannis, than Dame Lillard. He's more of a, it's hard to say this because Dame averages more points. Dame's going to be a scorer. Dame is more like a shooter.
Yeah.
KPJ is more of a scorer than Damian Lillard is, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to degrade Damian Lillard, but KPJ is more. He
does more. He just does a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, he has more in his arsenal, right? So Giannis also is by far the best player. It's not like the Pacers are a juggernaut. The Pacers are a really good team. They're really good coached, but they're not a juggernaut. So Giannis should win this series. Now, in the last 9 games, the Pacers, not the Pacers, the Bucks coming into this game on an 8-game winning streak. So they're hot right now. Giannis he only played 6 out of 8 games, but in those 6 games he played, AJ, Giannis averaged 32 points per game, shooting 61%, 12 assists a game, and 12 rebounds a game, averaging triple-double, Jokic-type numbers. Because how they play without Dame, he has the ball in his hands a lot more. So I'm expecting Giannis to go crazy against the Pacers, but the Pacers can win this series, obviously. I do believe in Rick Carlisle. I think he's a better coach than Doc Rivers. I think he could out-coach Doc Rivers in this scenario. Tyrese Halliburton could take advantage of Brook Lopez by putting him in a pick and roll and bringing him out of the paint and just manipulating them. All series, he can definitely do that. Siakam's going to get some mismatches all series, in my opinion. They really don't have guys that can. Siakam is not a great player, but he's a mismatch. He's like, 6'10". He can score outside of the paint. He's a jump shooter. So he's quick. He can create a mismatch for a lot of guys. And offensively, the Pacers could just run them out the jump. But I think Giannis is going to go crazy, AJ. Like, I think it's going to be a series. We're going to look back. You know how Jalen Brunson went crazy against Philly? And we was like, dang, Jalen Brunson, he's looking like Ella Iverson. We're going to look at Giannis like, Giannis is going to remind us, including myself, that, even though I'm a superstar, even though you think I'm one of the best players in the league, y'all still underrate me. Because I feel like he is an underrated superstar. He doesn't get talked about enough because he don't have these playoff moments, in my opinion. And I think that it's going to be one of those series where they're not favored. The Pacers are favored in the series, and Giannis is going to carry them across the finish line. So give me the Bucks in 6.
You about the little spoiler alert. You about to hear me say something about this series that I'm going to also probably say along the same lines when it comes to talking about the Wolves and the Lakers. As far as Giannis is concerned, the same way we stating now that Giannis has the ball in his hands a whole lot, we know the Pacers see it. So expect double teams, expect traps, be smart with the basketball. Because one way they can lose this series is if Giannis is out there turning the ball over. If they not being smart with the basketball, because the Pacers going to get up and down the court. The Pacers are going to run, and they're going to tire you out. They're going to gas you out. So Giannis has to be smart, make the right basketball play every single time and attack when necessary. Got to. Because you get out there turning that ball over, man, it can get ugly because they can score. We see now. They can score. They can get on transition. They can force turnovers. Halliburton can play. You know what I mean? Siakam can play. They got guys over there that can put the ball in the hole. Miles Turner can space the floor and is a pretty solid defender. I don't think he's stopping Giannis, but turning the ball over is a quick way to lose against the Indiana Pacers. But I got the Bucks because, like you said, I think Giannis is gonna do his thing for sure.
Holly, shout out to Javon, RBO Vaughn, Holly Burton, Holly Berry, Holly Tosis, Bucks and 5. but look, here's the thing about Giannis. See, what was around him before? Okay, you got Lopez, Bobby Portis, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday. Now I feel like he has more shooters. Now those guys can shoot, but these guys he got now
They
are
pure
better
shooters.
shooters. Kyle Kuzma, Kevin Porter Jr. You still got Brooke Lopez. Bobby Porter's still there. And Gary Trent
Gary
Jr.
Trent,
also a
yeah.
shooter. So he has guys who can let it fly. So and that's why he's been AJ Green, exactly, Javon. So that's why they've been like that's why he's been averaging 12 assists a game his last game because he got guys around him. So give me the Bucks, man. If Giannis, but I will say this, AJ. If Giannis loses this series, I mean, I can't. There's no excuse. Sorry, because he's a two-way player. Two-way. He's supposed to be dominant offensively and defensively. So Giannis has to win this series because, like I said, he's an underrated superstar because he don't have a lot of. Even though he has a finals appearance, finals a ring, he doesn't have a resume, a complete resume, a big resume on playoff performances. So let's go, Giannis. We both got
Hey,
you.
give Dame time to come back, bro. Give Dame time to come back, get to the next round, and then it's gonna get interesting against probably the Cavs. Gonna get interesting. That's all I'm gonna
Good
say.
matchup too.
Hey, that's all I'm gonna say. But we got more playoff